Deep within an ancient stone cavern, a forgotten book rests on a cold altar, untouched for centuries. The air around it is filled with a chilling fog that moves with purpose, as though drawn toward something unseen. A faint pulse flickers beneath the surface of the book, like a heartbeat buried under layers of time. In this unnatural stillness, the silence feels alive. Observing, waiting for the moment when the ancient power inside the book will stir once more. A small jade cube lies before the ancient book, glowing with a soft inner radiance. Its surface is perfectly smooth, yet it carries an aura of immense age. The fog swirls around it in gentle spirals, as if paying silent respect to the relic. Each pulse of light from within the cube feels deliberate, like a message trying to reach out from across centuries. Whatever this artifact is, it was crafted with purpose, and today, its purpose begins to awaken. The fog thickens, swallowing the edges of the altar and dimming the faint blue light. Shadows stretch unnaturally across the stone, bending in ways they should not. The book appears to sink deeper into the haze, as if reality itself is losing its shape around it. The air grows colder, heavier, and for a moment the cavern feels inhabited by something unseen. This is not natural darkness. It is a presence, moving ever closer. A radiant symbol slowly emerges on the stone surface beneath the book. It isn't carved or etched. It is made of pure cold light. Fog drifts across the glowing sigil, revealing and concealing its meaning in soft waves. The symbol pulses once, sending a subtle vibration through the cavern. Whatever force awakened it has no connection to the mortal world. This is a sign from beyond, a warning or perhaps a summons. The jade artifact begins to glow brighter, its inner light trembling like a whispered voice lost in time. The fog reacts instantly, spiraling in delicate patterns that seem almost intelligent. A soft hum rises from the stone, resonating with the book's presence. The cube is no longer dormant. It communicates in silence, linking itself to the ancient text. Something deep within the chamber acknowledges the awakening. The ancient book lies open, its pages filled with symbols that shimmer faintly in the cold air. Moonlight falls across the parchment, but the markings refuse to fully reveal themselves. Words twist subtly as though alive, shifting away from comprehension. This is knowledge not meant to be read easily. Something within the book holds its power tightly, revealing only fragments to those who dare approach its mysteries. A cold breath of air sweeps through the cavern, brushing against the fragile pages of the ancient book. They flutter gently, as though an invisible hand is turning them. The fog swirls upward in response, moving in delicate, layered streams. The glowing symbols hum with a low resonance, awakened by the movement. The energy growing inside this chamber is no longer subtle. It is rising. The fog gathers into a smooth, rounded form hovering above the open book. It expands and contracts slowly like a living creature inhaling and exhaling. Within this ghostly breath, faint shapes flicker. Not quite faces, but impressions of consciousness. Something ancient is observing the book, not with eyes, but through the very essence of the mist. The barrier between the worlds feels thinner than ever. A thin fracture spreads across the stone floor, releasing a pale glow from deep below. Yet the crack is not a sign of damage. It is a channel, a pathway for force that does not belong to this era. As the light rises, time around the altar seems to slow. The fog hangs motionless, held in a moment outside the natural flow. This is the awakening of a seal older than memory itself. A focused beam of moonlight pierces the cavern roof and lands directly upon the open pages. The symbols react at once, rippling and shifting as though rearranging themselves under a divine command. The light intensifies, illuminating the ancient words with clarity and purpose. It feels as if the moon itself is searching through the text, choosing which secrets to reveal. The ritual has begun, and the book responds in silence. A deep, resonant hum vibrates through the cavern walls as though the stone itself remembers ancient voices. Faint reflections glide across the wet surfaces, forming shifting silhouettes that disappear before the mind can grasp them. The air feels charged, heavy with unseen movement. It's as if something is passing through the chamber, not walking, not crawling, but drifting between moments, leaving only an echo behind. A razor-thin beam of cold light slices through the fog, dividing the chamber into two worlds. The pages of the book react instantly, glowing with a brief, sharp brilliance. The cavern tightens, contracting around the light as if resisting its presence. This is no gentle illumination. It's an intrusion, a command from a place beyond ordinary perception. Whatever force sent this beam is now watching closely. From far beneath the earth comes a low, rhythmic vibration, like a chant rising from forgotten depths. The fog trembles in soft waves, and the open book answers with a faint hum of its own. The two energies intertwine, forming a silent conversation between realms. Something ancient is calling, and something equally ancient is responding. Through symbols, resonance, and breath, the fog gathers into a flawless circle surrounding the book, turning smoothly as if guided by invisible hands. Above the pages, pale symbols appear and drift like floating embers. Their shapes are precise, deliberate, too perfect to be random. The circle holds the energy in place, binding it, containing it. Whatever ritual is awakening here has only just begun. A sudden gust chills the air, freezing the swirling fog into sharper, crystalline forms. For a moment, a whisper echoes across the chamber. Distant, almost human, yet not quite. The sound dissolves before its meaning can be understood. Still, the silence that follows feels different, more aware. The cavern listens now, anticipating the next shift in the ancient ritual. Shadows ripple across the book in sharp geometric fragments, triangles, lines, fractured arcs. They flicker rapidly, as if forming language that predates the written word. The shapes twist and repeat, creating patterns that feel both purposeful and unsettling. Something is trying to speak through light and darkness, using the book as its anchor point. The massive stones encircling the altar pulse with a synchronized glow, each beat slow and powerful, like the heartbeat of the earth itself. The fog vibrates faintly with every pulse, moving in perfect harmony. This place is not lifeless rock. It is a living structure, ancient and aware. The awakening energy flows through it like blood through veins of stone. The stone platform begins to vibrate with a deep, resonant frequency. Fog ripples outward in concentric waves, reacting as though it were water. The vibrations come from far beneath the surface, from something vast and long dormant. The air thickens as the platform breathes, inhaling energy and exhaling cold mist in rhythmic patterns. The fog rises into a spiraling column, its movement impossibly precise. Each rotation tightens into a symbol reminiscent of ancient celestial diagrams. Light flickers within the spiral, hinting at a force shaping it from within. This is no random motion. It is a sign, a mark of something preparing to emerge from the unseen. Light erupts from beneath the platform, illuminating hidden carvings that begin to ignite one by one. The symbols link together like components of a long-dormant mechanism. The altar hums with rising intensity, feeding off the energy of the open book. A forgotten engine of ancient power has been activated, and its awakening shakes the very air. Thin beams of pale blue light stretch outward from the open book, connecting it to the surrounding stones like threads of an ancient web. The lines vibrate softly, humming with a rhythm that feels both sacred and dangerous. As the network of light grows, the entire cavern responds. Shadows tremble, fog ripples, and the air charges with anticipation. It is as though fate itself is mapping out a forgotten path. The fog contracts suddenly, folding into a tight vortex that rotates with eerie precision. Its center is a dark void, deeper than shadow, almost like an eye opening across dimensions. The vortex pulses gently, radiating an energy that feels intelligent, curious. Something beyond the mortal world is examining the altar, studying the awakened power that now flows freely through the chamber. A sharp diagonal beam slashes through the cavern, cutting the fog apart as if it were fabric. The entire chamber brightens for a heartbeat, revealing carvings and shadows previously swallowed by darkness. The book reacts with a shimmer, its pages vibrating in the sudden brilliance. Then the beam fades, leaving behind a heavy silence, as if a divine blade had tested the boundaries between worlds. From deep within the cracked stone floor, bursts of cold mist rise slowly, like the steady breathing of a massive creature below. Each exhale sends the fog drifting upward in delicate waves. The altar seems alive, its pulse synchronized with the movements beneath it. Something buried in the earth is waking, and its presence reshapes the air itself. The jade relic glows intensely, sending ripples of soft light outward. The pulses travel through the fog like whispered messages, touching the pages of the book with deliberate cadence. For a moment, the symbols shimmer in response, acknowledging the jade's call. The two artifacts share a bond older than the cavern itself, a silent dialogue long abandoned by the world of men. Small luminous particles drift through the cavern, falling slowly like pale, enchanted snow. They glow faintly with a cold inner fire, illuminating the fog as they descend. Each particle dissolves before touching the ground, releasing tiny sparks of energy into the air. Their arrival marks a shift in the ritual, a sign that a deeper transformation is approaching. The mist begins to flow in a single direction, moving with purpose like a river guided by unseen currents. A single page lifts from the book and hovers in the air, caught in the silent stream. The space around it warps subtly. Distances stretch, shapes curve. Reality itself seems to bend in response to the presence of ancient knowledge rising to the surface. Symbols ignite one by one across the stone floor, glowing briefly before fading back into darkness. Each flash of light forms part of a language older than recorded history. The fog swirls around the markings as if trying to decode them. The air vibrates with meaning, though the message remains just beyond human understanding. The fog gathers into a faint silhouette, a figure without a face, without definition, yet unmistakably present. It stands before the book in silent contemplation, its shape flickering at the edges. The chamber grows colder as the presence stabilizes. Whatever this being is, it is not physical. It is an echo, a memory, or perhaps the first manifestation of something awakening. The book erupts in a burst of radiant light, expanding outward like a breath held for centuries. The fog scatters, revealing deeper chambers and carvings hidden in the shadows. The glow is not harsh. It is ancient and knowing, filled with purpose. But the revelation lasts only moments before fading, leaving behind a quiet sense that only a fragment of the truth has been allowed to surface. A single glowing symbol forms above the open book, suspended in the cold air like a fragment of starlight. It does not flicker or shift. It simply exists with undeniable authority. The fog retreats slightly as if giving space to the ancient sign. Its meaning is beyond human language, yet the weight of it fills the cavern. This symbol is a declaration, a message delivered across ages. A deep vibration rises from beneath the stone platform, resonating like the first note of a forgotten song. Carvings on the surface ignite in a soft glow, responding to the call. The air hums with layered frequencies, blending into a steady, pulsating rhythm. The platform is no longer still. It is speaking in the language of the ancients, awakening to its long-buried purpose. A tiny spark of warm orange light ignites just above the book, breaking the chamber's icy palette. The spark dances for a heartbeat, casting faint reflections across the fog. Its warmth is brief but unmistakable. A flicker of life inside the cold void. Then it vanishes, leaving behind a subtle warmth in the air, as though promising more to come. The rift above the altar widens, spilling cold white radiance into the cavern. Fog is drawn into the expanding opening, pulled by an unseen force. The chamber trembles, unable to contain the growing energy. The light is not chaotic. It is purposeful, forming patterns within the mist. A passage between worlds is opening, slow and deliberate. A shockwave bursts outward from the book, freezing every particle of fog in midair. For a moment, the cavern becomes a sculpture of suspended motion. Then, just as suddenly, time flows again, and the fog resumes its drifting dance. The pulse leaves behind a strange sensation, as if the flow of time has cracked and been reassembled in a slightly different shape. A pure silver beam of moonlight descends onto the open pages, scattering soft light through the drifting dust. Under its glow, the symbols gain depth, shifting, aligning, revealing their true structure. The fog transforms into shimmering threads, swirling gracefully around the beam. For a moment, the cavern feels sacred, as though the moon itself is guiding the awakening. The mist reshapes into precise geometric forms, circles, arcs, intersecting lines glowing faintly with cold energy. The structures rotate slowly, forming patterns reminiscent of ancient celestial diagrams. These shapes are not random. They are instructions, maps, or equations written in the language of the unseen world. The book hums softly in response. A deep pulse rises from beneath the stone platform, spreading outward like the steady beat of a massive heart. The light beneath the floor expands with each rhythmic throb, illuminating hidden veins of energy within the rock. The entire altar breathes, inhaling darkness, exhaling light. Something vast is waking far below, responding to the book's presence. A glowing sphere forms above the book, expanding with each pulse of energy. Inside the sphere, fragments of ancient symbols appear and vanish like sparks of memory. The cavern vibrates with rising intensity as the rift reaches its threshold. The fog trembles in anticipation. The climax of the awakening is near, a crossing point between worlds. The book erupts with a swirling burst of blue-white light. Fog spirals upward, drawn into the radiance like threads of living mist. Symbols ignite in the air, flashing in rapid sequences that echo forgotten spells. The cavern shakes as an ancient presence finally awakens. Not fully revealed, but undeniably alive. The ritual is complete. Something powerful has returned to the world.